I'm doing this video so you can see the truth behind dinosaurs, who dinosaurs really are, and where dinosaurs really come from, but so that you can also see just what time it really is and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Because we have all been spoon-fed this evolutionary lie that dinosaurs are millions and millions and millions of years old, and they inhabited the earth so long ago, and that they were wiped out by a comet, and all of these other things. But just how true is all of that? Why do we see dinosaurs being pushed in mainstream media today? And just what are they, as in the elite, are getting ready for? What do they know that we don't know? And what are they preparing for come the New World Order? Because remember, the days of Noah should be ringing some alarm bells to many of you. So we are going to tackle this and more to come in this video, and you are going to see the truth behind dinosaurs. Like I said, it's no surprise we're seeing a giant push when it comes to dinosaurs in Hollywood and mainstream media, toys, games, videos, TV, you name it. And the question is, why are we seeing such a big push when it comes to dinosaurs? What do they know that we don't know? And just what are they getting us ready for? And the bigger question is, are there dinosaurs today that have been purposefully hidden from us? And the better question is, why are we seeing them all over the place? Now, this is a blockbuster, said to be a blockbuster movie that's going to be talking about dinosaurs, and it's supposed to be coming out real soon. And the question is, what are they mentally preparing us for? What are they getting us ready for? Remember, the elite don't just do things because they feel like doing it. The elite don't just do things because, it's fun to do. No, they are doing this for subliminal messaging, and it is our job and our task to figure out what the messaging is. What are they really pointing to, and what they're getting us ready for? Because this movie, Jurassic World, came out and has been pushed with Jurassic Park and everything else. Now, of course, you have skeptics out there who are going to say that, it's just a movie, and it's just entertainment, and there's nothing really to it. But is there really? Because I'm letting you know there is a bigger, more nefarious agenda behind all this, and you're about to see just what it is. Not only that, but what you're also about to learn is that dinosaurs were even around and even existed during the biblical times, and they were even around during the time of Noah and even during the time of the prophets. Before we move on, I'm going to give you the origin of the word dinosaur, as well as the etymology and the etymology of the Hebrew word dinosaur, so you can see exactly where it's coming from, and so that you can also see that dinosaurs are even in scripture. And I'm going to prove that to you in just a second. And it says at Forbidden History, origins of the word dinosaurs. What is the origin of the word dinosaur? What many people do not even know it, but dinosaur literally means terrible, powerful, wondrous lizards. The word became popular after biologist and paleontologist Sir Richard Owen coined the term dinosauria in 1841. The word dinosaur derives from two Greek words, terrible, powerful, and wondrous, and lizards. So before 1841, there was no such word as dinosaur. It did not even exist. So, but it comes from dinosauria, which means terrible, powerful, wondrous. And what it really means, what? Dragon. The word dinosaur means dragon. That's another way that you can say it. And it's interesting that they would hide it from us, because it says it here. How can you describe terrible, powerful, wondrous lizards? Dragons, or even, should I say, serpents. Is this starting to ring some alarm bells? Are you starting to put the pieces together? I hope so, because there's a bigger agenda behind all this, and you're going to see exactly what it is. That's right, dragons. So we see that dinosaurs back then were called dragons. Now let's see if the Hebrew agrees with us. It's proven that dinosaur really originates from the word dragon and wasn't even a such word back in the 1840s. It has just become a new word. And so when we look at the Hebrew, we're here at Bible Hub, and it says, according to Strong's Concordance, that H58577 tanin, which means what? Serpent, dragon, or what? Sea monster. The very interesting, reminds me of what? The story of Jonah. Well, very interesting. And the short definition is monster, the same as Tan, serpent, dragon, or sea monster. That is what? The Hebrew word for dragon. So what they saw back in the biblical times when it says serpents and sea monsters and dragons, they were talking about dinosaurs. Very interesting and suspicious indeed. Not only that, but later on, you're going to see that there have been many sightings of these dinosaurs all over the world today. And you're going to see the bigger agenda behind all this, because there's a lot they don't want you to know. And what is it? You're about to find out in a second. When you understand the spiritual implications of all this, then you start to understand the bigger lies and the bigger agenda, and then you start to understand just what time it really is. But if you don't understand the spiritual, then you're not going to understand what's to come. Because remember, nothing new is under the sun. What happened back then will happen again. So here I am at Strong's Concordance again, and we're going to look further into Tanin and see the references where it's mentioned in Scripture. And as you can see, it's mentioned 27 times throughout Scripture. And we see it in Genesis, or Barashith, chapter 1, verses 24. Great whales and every living thing. Well, whales, very interesting. Just like they try to tell us that, oh, Jonah was swallowed by a whale. Was it really a whale? Let's keep going. Exodus, or Shamut, chapter 7, verses 9. That it may become a serpent. Of course, these are the shorter versions. But Exodus 7:10, Exodus 7:12, Deuteronomy, or Dabarim, chapter 32, verses 33. We also see it in Nehemiah, or Nehemiah, and we see even before the dragon well. Of course, we see it there. Also, the hidden book, Bel and the Dragon. Very interesting and suspicious indeed. It's also mentioned in Eub, or Job, where it even says, what? Sea monster, serpent, and of course the KJV has whale, but we also see it here. I'm a brother to dragons and a companion first. Very interesting. So we see it all throughout Scripture, and most notably is when we see it in the songs of David and Tahalim, or Psalm. We see it in Psalm chapter 44, verses 19, Psalm chapter 74, verses 13. But what I really want to focus your attention to is Psalm chapter 91, because I know many of us have come across this scripture, at least those who read Scripture, and we see that what? The young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet. What dragon do you think that's talking about? Very interesting and suspicious indeed. But let's keep going. Psalm 148, Yashayahu, or Isaiah. We see dragons here as well in 13:22 and Isaiah 27, verses 1. We also see it. So we see it all throughout Scripture. And of course, we see it in Yarmiyahu, or Jeremiah chapter 9, verses 11, and as well as Jeremiah chapter 10, verses 22. Den of dragons, when like dragons. We see dragons and monsters all over the place. Very interesting. And we see it in Yakazkal, or Ezekiel, as well as Micah chapter 1, verses 8. So all throughout the Old Testament we see this. And do we see it in other languages as well? You're about to find out. Dragons have been embedded in every ancient culture there is, including Asian cultures, Chinese cultures, Japanese cultures, and many others. You can see that with the year of the dragon in the Chinese New Year, as well as many other cultures that embrace this as well. But where do you think it comes from? Dinosaurs are all over the place in history, and here they come from different cultures, as you can see, and they each have their own name for dragons, as we can see right here. So very interesting. And what you start to learn is that all of the ancient cultures have dragons in them, or mention some type of dragons there. And what you start to really learn is that where do these dragons really come from? You're about to start to see the bigger agenda behind all this. And you're also going to see that there's been a major cover up that they don't want you to know, because they want you to keep thinking that, oh, dinosaurs existed millions and millions of years ago, and they had to wipe them out with false evolutionary science and false archaeology to prove their claims, because that's what the elite are good at doing. They are good at lying to your face. But what is the bigger agenda? The bigger agenda is, first of all, dinosaurs are not that old. They are only maybe a couple of thousand years old. That matches the Bible, of course. But not only that, they have already been here and they are here today and here to stay. But you're going to start seeing them. And when you do, the question is, will you be ready to stand in that evil day? I hope so, because what you're about to start seeing is that they may seem cool and fun and calm and collected on the inside, but really there is a monstrous agenda behind all this. And of course, we all thought that they died out 65 million years ago, but how true is that? And here I am at 6000years.org, and it talks about what dinosaurs, and it even shows you that what recently in the late 1990s that there was fresh dinosaur skin and blood vessels that were found in a T-Rex bone. And now we already went over a history of dinosaurs and how they used to be called dragons, and that the word dinosauria was coined by Dr. Richard Owen, which means terrible lizard, and that they're even in scripture when it talks about what dragons. Very interesting. And now it says, how did the dinosaurs die? Well, one way they could have died, of course, evolutionists like to tell you, oh, it was because of what? It was because of the comet. But really, it could have been what? The flood. But let's keep going. It goes on to talk about some of the different designs of dinosaurs and how they look. Notice his tail is like a cedar tree. That's no elephant. And that's also referenced in scripture as well. But let's keep going. It also talks about Marco Polo, who lived in China for 17 years around 1271 AD. Upon his return from Asia, he reported of families raising dragons, yoking them to royal chariots for parades and special occasions, and using dragon parts for medicinal purposes. Interestingly, the 12 signs of the Chinese zodiac are animals, 11 which are everyday extant creatures: rat, horse, dog, ox, rabbit, tiger, snake, ram, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. But the 12th one is the dragon. Why would the Chinese include this so-called mythological dragon with these common living animals unless there's something they don't want you to know? And do we trust Marco for every other history? Why not also dragons for dinosaurs? Because like I said earlier, dragons are a big part of the Chinese culture. There's a big reason behind it that they don't want you to know. Not only that, but it goes on to say the early Britons, from whom the modern Welsh were descended, provide us with our earlier surviving European accounts of who? Reptilian monsters. Did you hear that? Reptilians. Reptilian monsters. You're going to see the bigger agenda in just a moment. One of whom killed and devoured King Morvidus or Morid in CA 336 BC. We are told in the account translated for us by Geoffrey of Monmouth that the monster gulped down the body of Morvidus as a big fish swallows a little one. He described the animal as a balua, but this isn't the only dinosaur recorded by the Anglo-Saxon and their records, and there's more which we're going to go over. Should we reject all these accounts because the atheists want you to? Because the atheists who work for the New World Order want you to? I'm telling you, there's a bigger agenda. Not only that, but it goes on to talk about the different inscriptions that have been on dinosaurs, where dinosaurs have been seen before in Indian artwork, as well as many other places of dinosaurs being drawn and encrusted everywhere. It says various Indian drawings on rock walls tell us the Indians actually saw living dinosaurs. They wouldn't just draw this stuff, oh, because they feel like it, oh, because it's fun, oh, because they have nothing better to do. There is a message behind all this. It says the Anasazi Indians of the American Southwest made pictures on rocks showing dinosaurs and men. A thick coat of desert varnish on these images proves that these pictures were created many hundreds of years ago, so not thousands and millions of years ago like they try to feed you. Desert varnish, or wind-blown pollen and dust, slowly accumulates on the rocks in the desert. The varnish on the Anasazi pictures is so thick that they must have been drawn many hundreds of years ago, of course. And it goes on to talk about the ancient city of Angkor in Cambodia, where they even see a stegosaurus carved in one of the temple walls. In Mexico, many hundred ancient dinosaur figurines have been unearthed, some even with men writing on them. And we see some of the artwork here. We see Indian artwork from Canada as well. The evolutionary timetable is wrong. And there's a bigger agenda behind evolution that they're not telling you about that I am going to tell you. And we see a remarkable pictograph that can be etched into the canyon walls of the Grand Canyon. Other animals show the same clarity. They painted what they observed. They did not become extinct 65 million years ago. That is just man-made. We also see a carving on what? A Cambodian temple wall. Very interesting. We also see some more carvings over here. We see pottery that shows it. That pottery dated back to 800 and BC and 200 AD. You could see somebody riding a dinosaur. Okay, we see this here. We see a Ica stone found in the Ica Valley in Peru. The people lived there about 3,000 years ago. How did they know what dinosaurs look like if dinosaurs were said to go extinct that long ago? Very interesting. Is somebody lying to you? Of course they are. I want to talk about some of the footprints that were left in the sand, and that there are many dinosaur footprints being found worldwide. And here's one of them discovered by archaeologist Alvis Delk. And we see that so many of this, but of course evolutionists try to do all they can to discredit these findings. So very interesting. And then it also talks about this is the Alvis Delk track, which is one of the dinosaur footprints that was actually found by an actual scientist. So you can see the slice through trap slack, and you can actually see where the dino toe really is. So very interesting. But we also see other footprints, a fossil footprint discovered in June 1968 by William J. Meister on an expedition to Antelope Spring, 43 miles west of Delta, Utah. The sample that seems to have crushed a living trilobite was 10 1/4 inches long and 3.5 inches wide. The heel is indented slightly more than the sole as a human shoe print would be, and the photo was taken by late Dr. Cecil Dougherty in the 1970s. It shows a human footprint within a trail of dinosaur tracks in the bed of the Paluxy River in Glen Rose, Texas, right there. So you can see the human footprint here and what looks to be a dinosaur footprint right there. That ain't no human footprint. I don't care what you tell me. But not only that, we also have dinosaur carcasses that have been found too, because we looked at the archaeological and the historical evidences for man and dinosaurs living together. We talked about Marco Polo with dinosaurs. We see dinosaurs and dragons embedded all over Chinese culture and other cultures worldwide. So is there any evidence of dinosaurs living today? You bet you there is. Then they're just trying to keep it hidden from you for a more sinister purpose, and you're about to find out what that purpose is. So here there is what a dinosaur carcass that was found. It says in 1977, Japanese fishermen on board the Zuyo Maru caught a dead, very smelly monster in their nets at a depth of 900 feet. Now, of course, when we look at the Hebrew, monster is what? Dragon. And dragon is what? Dinosaur. Okay, let's keep going. It was estimated to have been dead for over a month. It was 32 feet long and weighed over 4,000 pounds. The fishermen measured it, photographed it, took tissue samples, and promptly threw it overboard before it could contaminate their real catch. From all the evidence available to them, Japanese scientists believe the creature to look very much like a plesiosaur. One scientist said it seems that these animals are not extinct after all. And later on, I'm going to take you to another resource that proves to you that dinosaurs are even being spotted and seen in the Congo today. It is, and even in Papua New Guinea as well. But it's impossible for only one to have survived. There must be a group. And of course, they commemorated this find with a postage stamp. And then, of course, we have our favorite Nessie, so-called the sea monster of Santa Cruz, that was discovered in 1925. And this is the picture of it that was actually taken right off the Pacific Ocean. And of course, here's some other strange findings. This one I'm going to go over with you later on. But as you can see, all these weird findings, very interesting and suspicious indeed. What are they hiding, and what are they getting ready for? What do they know that they don't want you to know? And what are they trying to keep hidden from you? Because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And I'm here at creationliberty.com showing you this giant boar that was killed in Alabama back in 2004. And there have been other reports of giant big boars like this that have been killed. Now, what does this have to do with dinosaurs, you may be wondering? Oh, it has a ton to do with it, because soon enough you're going to start seeing big, disgusting creatures like this, including dinosaurs. And the question is, are you ready for this? Because I'm telling you, there's a bigger agenda behind all this, and that big agenda is what? Evolution. Is to make you think that, oh, you have evolved from monkeys, and oh, you've come from monkeys, even though that's just completely a lie, and Darwinism and all that, to make you think what? So that when the fallen angels disguise themselves as aliens and they come here to earth and tell you that, oh, that you can become like us, you can become your own God, will you fall for it, or will you know who it is, wake up to the truth, and see the lie for what it really is, and see what? It's Adam and Eve all over again, 6,000 years, and nothing has changed. Now, this was a man in London who reportedly found a 4-foot rat in his backyard. I'm telling you, you may be wondering, where does this stuff come from? How is this even possible? I'm telling you, there is a bigger, more nefarious agenda behind this. And like I said, it has a lot to do with evolution, but there's a lot that your elite in your government are not telling you. And I'm going to expose to you the bigger lies, as well as the lies of dinosaurs, to let you know that all of what you're seeing and what you're about to start seeing is not going to be nice. If you won't believe me, then you will believe ancient texts and ancient hieroglyphics, because in all these ancient things, and even in Egypt, you see what looks to be dragons and what? Dinosaurs. Of course, evolution is going to tell you, oh, it's just a fake, it's all man-made stories. No, they drew what they saw. You see other monsters like this as well. This was the Ishtar Gate in Babylon. But let's keep going. You see in Mesopotamia, you see a lot of dragons and a lot of images of dragons and dinosaurs and serpents as well, with weird heads and weird creatures like this. You don't think that's going to happen again? Remember, nothing new is under the sun. This was a replica of a rock art drawings found in a cave near Tanganyika in East Africa. Very interesting. What are they showing you? I'm telling you, this goes much deeper than you think. It goes much deeper than any of us can really imagine. But like I said, there's going to be a bigger, more nefarious agenda. And with this one, we already saw in Cambodia, the Cambodian temple. We saw some in England as well, at a cathedral with 2 dragons carved into brass. We see some in Arizona as well, with carvings here. So they're all over the place, all around the world. Very interesting. And then we see some from a tribe of people called the Kuku Yalanji that live in the northern region of Queensland, Australia, that they saw spotted creatures near their home, which look very reminiscent of a plesiosaur. I hope you're seeing this. And then what? They see some South American and strange stones found in Peru that happen to resemble what? Dinosaurs and dragons. I'm telling you, this stuff goes way deeper than you think. And I hope you're seeing all of this. And this is stuff from the 16th century that shows dinosaurs as well. So I'm telling you, it's all interesting and suspicious indeed. And there were even dinosaurs on Noah's Ark. I'm telling you, just like the days of Noah, nothing new under the sun. What happened to the dinosaurs is the question. And why have they gone hidden? And what are they hiding from you? Because I'm telling you, there's always a bigger agenda. But it goes on to talk about the British Army Colonel Percy Fawcett was sent to South America in 1907 to settle a quarrel over boundaries between Brazil, Peru, and Bolivia. While making their way up the river, they discovered something they didn't expect. And this is witnesses of them. They saw what? A giant anaconda. It was 62 feet long, and he tried to cut off a piece of the snake's skin, but the injured animal was alive and wiggling. Did you hear that? Snake, serpent, dragon. I'm telling you, this goes much deeper than you think. But here are other reports of people who have spotted these disgusting creatures. Somebody also spotted a 98-foot snake, 2 feet in diameter, and this was back in 1958, according to Bernard Heuvelmans on the Tracks of Unknown Animals, page 1958, page 296, I should say, University of Michigan, 1958. 8. And there are other reporters that are villagers who have also reported monstrous animals all over the place. Black boa constrictors, a 130-foot long serpent with a diameter of about 15 feet. Just as we have said and proven earlier in the Hebrew as well as in other languages and etymologies, that what a snake and a serpent is the same as what dragon or what dinosaur. I'm telling you, this goes much deeper than you think. Not only that, but the Congolese have even reported crocodiles that can grow up to 50 feet in this area. And this is according to Michael Newton's Hidden Animals, A Field to Bat, Squatch, and Other Elusive Creatures, page 15. And it says, Belgian explorer James Werner reported crocodiles 40 to 50 feet long in the Congo between 1989 and 1990. And the Congolese tribesmen interviewed by Dr. Roy Mackel. Very interesting. And it goes on to talk about Behemoth and Leviathan. I'm telling you, there's a bigger agenda, and you're going to see just what it is. Thought dinosaurs were extinct and went extinct? I suggest you think again, because what you're about to see are actual reports and people who have actually spotted dinosaurs that are still alive, and we mostly see them in the Congo jungle in Africa. And we're going to talk about this right now. It says reports of strange giant creatures living in the Congo's rivers and swamps have circulated for centuries among the pygmies. Ancient pictographs from nearby areas depict an animal remarkably like the Mokebe Mbebe, the legendary long-necked dinosaur that is believed by the natives to live in the area around Lake Tele. And this is according to Mark Miller's Far Out Adventures, the Best of World Explorer magazine, page 21, the year 2001. The first swamp region we will cover is the largest in the world, located in the Congo jungle in Africa, and it's called the Likuala Swamp. Is roughly the size of the state of Alaska, so it's huge, and consists of deadly marsh terrain that remains mostly unexplored territory today because the environment is so harsh, and they don't have and the swamp is very, very dangerous. But it goes on to say giant woody vines or lianas are suspended from the tall trees, so you can hardly get through it. And I'm telling you, there are killer bees that are there. It's very interesting, and it takes over 6 hours to get through. But there have been reports of what dinosaurs being in this swamp right here, or in this area. And according to Associated Press, dinosaur hunters back home, Southeast Missourian, back in 1981, page 10, what it says, registers a 47-year-old consulting engineer left for the Congo in September. He spent several weeks in its capital city of Brazzaville before taking his party about 500 miles farther into the jungle to the Lake Tele area, where most of the sightings of Mokele Mbembe, excuse me if I'm butchering that, have been reported. And it goes on to say that natives have long reported sighting the creature thought to be a survivor of a dinosaur. Of course, it's not 60 million years old, if even 6,000 years old. But what the creature was dark brownish in color, skin appeared slick and smooth with a long neck and small head. It was no animal known to any of the people on the expedition. Many members of the expedition had seen the creature and heard it making noise. And there was a few articles published by the AP that said that even talks about it and behemoths roaring in the Congo. And there were other reports and sightings of this as well, and they weren't the only ones that made these reportings. So you can always hear the sound as well. And it goes on to say that other explorers and missionaries came back with similar reports hearing monstrous creatures. And this is according to Abby Levane, Bonaventure Proyant, History of Luango, Kagonga, and Other Kingdoms in Africa back in 1776, translated by John Pinkerton, a general collection of voyages and travels, 1814, pages 557, by the Oxford University. It says the missionaries have observed in passing along a forest the track of an animal which they have never seen, about 3 foot in circumference. It carried its claws at the distance of 7 or 8 feet from the other. So it's a huge animal. What other animal you know is big like that, and an animal that they've never seen? So you can't sit there and say, oh, it's a giraffe, oh, it's an elephant. No, let's keep going. They're not the only reports. These are some other reports from the late 19th to the early 20th century, and this is according to Carl Hagenbeck and Hugh S.R. Elliott B. Semin, being Carl Hagenbeck's experience for half a century among wild animals, page 96 to 97, 1911, University of California. It says the reports were thus quite independent of each other, but what in the depth of the great swamps there dwelt a huge monster, half elephant, half what? Half dragon. This, however, is not the only evidence for the existence of an animal. It goes on to say, from what I heard of the animal, it seems to me that it can only be some kind of dinosaur, seemingly akin to the Brontosaurus, as the stories come from so many different sources and all tend to substantiate from each other. I'm also almost convinced that each such reptile must be still in existence, because what they are, what reptiles, reptilians. I hope this is ringing some alarm bells, but we've also seen reports of it as well, roaming Africa's wilds in the Congo. And other reports go on. This was from the New York Herald back in 1910, page 1. And here's the actual report. Gigantic lizards right here. Monster, half elephant and half dragon. Very interesting. Here's another report from the New York Herald back in 1910. This was on page 2. So we see that even mainstream media reported it back then. Why aren't they reporting it now? Then this is from the Mungar Africana Library Notes of the California Institute of Technology, 1982, page 2, where it says, this editor does not believe that a dinosaur was seen or one that exists. Along with most scientists, I believe that what are frauds are hallucinations. That's what evolutionists want you to believe, because they're part of a bigger, more nefarious agenda. But I'm telling you, all these sightings have been all over the place. But let's keep going. He says, why should all dinosaurs be extinct? Because they have even seen them all over the place. And here are more reports that you could come look at on your own time. But I just wanted to share those with you because I'm telling you, they're all over the place. Now, here's some more eyewitness testimony of dinosaurs or dragons that are in and around the Congo. And as you can see right here, it says Marcelin Agnagna shows a sketch of the creature he claims to have spotted in the Congolese lake back in 1983. Camera problems prevented the biologist from bringing back hard evidence, but he had no doubt that the animal he saw was Mokele and Bimbe. And this was according to Russell Adams' Mysterious Creatures Time Life Books, page 96. So I'm telling you, they all have all seen it. The evidence is here, folks, and I'm telling you, this lake, it even shows it, and it even talks about Dr. McCall and what he saw, believes that it could indeed be a dinosaur that is in this area. And they're not just here, they're around the world too. And of course, we have what Loch Ness and Loch Ness Monster that you're hearing about. Not only that, but mainstream media has been pushing the Loch Ness Monster for the past couple of weeks now. I did a report on that a couple weeks ago about the Loch Ness Monster, just like I did a report almost a month ago that they're looking to clone T-Rexes. Why would they need to do that? I'm telling you, you all better start to wake up to this stuff, because it's going to start taking you for a loop if you're not awoke right now and seeing exactly what's going on. And there have been many sightings and reports of the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland, of course, but let's keep going. Some report that's how it looks. Others report that they say they've seen it, but of course mainstream media likes to make you think that, oh, it's just a big fake, it's just a big hoax. You could come here and read the articles yourself. I'm telling you, there is a big agenda. And then these are reports of pictures that were seen of photographs taken that sort of kind of look like weird, mysterious creatures. Are they dinosaurs? I don't know. Could they be photoshopped? Maybe. But I'm telling you, you better start waking up to the bigger agenda and the bigger picture at hand, because it ain't just this. I'm going to tell you what it is. And of course, we talked about the carcass back in 1977 that was found around Japan. A weird shark tail that was seen there as well. What are they getting ready for? And then of course we see Nessie, or California, that was washed up in 1925, a 20-foot long neck. Oh, is that photoshopped? It's not looking like it. Report back in 2006 about that unknown creature that was found. The report I said I'd take you to later on, and so you can see it for yourself. And here's the creature, the unknown creature that they say they have found back in 2006. And this is from a Russian website, so of course it's way more trustworthy than mainstream media, because mainstream media is not going to report this. Why? Because they don't want you to know this stuff, because they're keeping it hidden from you, because they don't want you to know the truth. What type of creature is this? Well, very interesting and suspicious indeed. I'm telling you, there's a bigger agenda. And just what is that agenda? The New World Order. Because what are they not telling you? They found all these things. They found articles and footprints and different artifacts and plenty of evidence on dinosaurs. But what they've done is they've hidden the evidence from you because they don't want you to know what's to come. What am I talking about? This goes back, what? The days of Noah. What were they doing in the days of Noah? They, as in the fallen angels, or as Genesis chapter 6 verses 4 says, the sons of God, quote unquote. What were they doing? They were mixing their seed and DNA with not only humans or women to create Nephilim or giants, and you can watch my giants video for more, but they were also mixing their seed with the animals and the animals of Yahuwah and creating disgusting animal creatures like the ones you see, like the so-called prehistoric creatures such as the dinosaurs. That's what they were doing, and they did it during the time of Noah. They did it during the time of the prophets, and they're doing it today all over again. But what they have done is they have conveniently hidden all this stuff from you. They as in the elite, they as in the Vatican, they as in the Jewish Zionists. They have hid all this stuff from you, hidden all the facts and the information from you. They have taken on the evolutionist mindset. They have hired people like Charles Darwin and all the evolutionists to tell you that it's evolution, and wipe out, and then gave you this story of the comet wiping them out, because an entire comet could wipe out all dinosaurs. That's what they want you to believe. They spoon fed you all these things, hired Illuminati scientists and Illuminati paid agents to tell you all these things, to lie to your face, hide all the evidence from you, just like they've hidden biblical artifacts and evidence of the Exodus taking place. And you can watch my Exodus location video for more on that. They've hidden all that from you. Not only that, but the fallen angels today, they're underground right now creating and mixing DNA just like they did in the days of Noah, and they're recreating these disgusting creatures that have not been seen since the days of Noah, and that also includes dinosaurs, so-called. That is what they are creating. And who's going to inhabit them? The demons themselves, the fallen angels, just like in the time and days of Noah. I hope you are seeing this, because that is what they are getting ready for and are currently doing. And many people have been having dreams and visions of dinosaurs. I know for myself, a couple of weeks ago actually, and I don't really share a lot of visions that much, but recently I myself had a dream of a dinosaur in my backyard, because that is what the elite are getting ready for. I'm telling you, this goes much deeper than you think. What does scripture say? That during the days of Noah, it's going to be just like the days of Noah before the Son of Man returns. And that's exactly what you're going to start seeing. When the economy shuts down, when there's no longer any more food in stores, when there is civil unrest, whether you want to believe that or not, call it fear-mongering, whatever you want to call it, it's just the truth. When you start to see all those things happening, then what are you going to see? Then they're going to release dinosaurs, then they're going to release giants, then they're going to release disgusting creatures with like rats with wings and snakes that can fly, and other disgusting dragon-like creatures that have not been seen since the days of Noah, because they're keeping it hidden from you. I hope you're seeing this, and I hope you're seeing the bigger agenda. No, this is not a conspiracy. This is a fact. They're doing this and getting it ready, and they're mentally conditioning you with movies such as Jurassic World and other dinosaur movies to make you think it's all entertainment, when they're telling you truth. They're about to start showing you this stuff. And even in the movie Jurassic World, the movie's about how dinosaurs escaped and got out. And you don't think that's going to happen? I even did an Illuminati card game where the card game even showed dinosaurs and how they escape out of nowhere, because they're getting you ready. You're hearing all about these sightings. Oh, a dinosaur sighting here. Oh, a Loch Ness monster over there in the Thames River that was reported 2 weeks ago. You don't think they're getting this stuff ready? You don't think they have these dinosaurs locked away somewhere? I'm telling you, you honestly better wake up and see, because it's gonna take you for a loop, and you're not gonna know what to do when this stuff starts happening. They're all hidden in a secret laboratory underground somewhere, ready to be released to the sleeping public, unless you wake up now to be escaped and seek Yahuwah and his true son Yahusha, so that you will not be fooled. I'm telling you, this goes much deeper than you think, and he that has an ear, let him hear, because this is real, authentic truth being presented to you today. But here I am at Genesis Mission, And it talks about dinosaurs and how they're still alive, and this will be the last place we go. But what there have been other reportings, of course, the Loch Ness monster. And we talked about this picture here. This is another one. Of course, we don't know if they're actually real or not, but we do know that they are what that people have seen them. And we talked about this one, the Mokele Mbemba, which is located in the Congo swamps that people have actually seen and spotted these dinosaur creatures. But do they know that they are what? They're the offspring of the fallen angels. Yes, these creatures are made by the fallen angels, just like the giants and Nephilim, and inhabited by demons. I'm telling you, this is how that goes. And it also shows a living pterodactyl, and this seems to be a genuine photo of a pterodactyl shot down by Confederate soldiers during the Civil War era. Now, there's one report that says, oh, that this was used for a movie set. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, but this picture seems to be the original, to recreate the one that has been lost. Very interesting. And then it shows a photo of a man holding what looks to be a creature. Note the flying on the tail. Very interesting. And of course, we talk about the Congo and also the other creatures that are near in the Papua New Guinea as well. And of course, they have to do what? They have to put hoaxes in there from time to time, of course, taken by the Daily Telegraph, what to make you think that, oh, it's just a fake, oh, it's just a hoax, because they're mentally conditioning your mind and mentally programming you to make you think that, oh, it's a big hoax, oh, it's not really there, oh, you don't have to worry about it, oh, no big deal. I'm telling you, there is a bigger agenda behind all this, and he who has an ear, let them hear. But I just wanted to share all this with you because I'm telling you, there is a bigger agenda behind all this. They're currently what? Mind control, conditioning your mind right now to get ready for the things at hand and to get ready for the bigger deceptions and the bigger agendas at hand. And like I said, if you don't think they have dinosaurs in some secret laboratory that the fallen angels are doing and mixing with DNA with other animals, I suggest you think again. Please seek Yahuwah and his true son Yahusha, because as you can see, time is running out. But this is Truth Unveiled. Shalom.